And we are live. What up, players? Welcome to episode 118 of Player Life. It is, what is it? Today is Thursday, the 20th of May here in Tokyo, Japan. I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are well indeed. Um, it's rainy season here in Tokyo. It's just piss and rain, kind of depressing, but it is what it is. Um, Although I had a pretty good day here. Um, you know, I met this girl. She was, oh my god, she had giant boobies, very huge. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure they were fake, but funny story. So a while back, I a friend of mine was like, "Yo, I have this girl. she's she's down. She'd be down to do like a yawn. They call it yonpi in Japan. It's basically foursome, where he was basically asking me, did I have a girl that I could bring, and we could basically swap swap girls. And I was like, sure, why not? Real players don't really give a fuck. like uh once you get to a point, it's like sharing is caring. We really do not give a fuck. But so I brought my chick, and his chick was there, and as it happened, his chick backed out at the last minute. She got cold feet. She didn't want to go ahead with it. But I'm me being a good sport, I was like, um I don't really care. Hey, let's just do it. Let's just spit roast. So we went ahead and did it, and but my mate, solid guy, hit me up just last week, and he was like, "Oh, I have this really hot girl. If you're interested." Um, it was a friend of one of his friends, and this was her. Like, seriously hot. This was her. This is how my boy repaid me. This is how I got repaid today. So for me, the time I went and brought him a girl, uh, and his girl backed out, so I was left. We basically spit roaster. But he came through, and he sent me this message. He said, "Yo, I got a girl, horny as hell right now. Wants to fuck. It's my girl's friend. I'll pay you back for last time." And yeah, that was her. Literally crazy. I just said, "Haha, is she hot? What is it? Your girl's friend wants to have a threesome or what?" I was like, "What? What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?" And he said, "No, no threesome. Just hook up with her." And this was the girl. This was the girl that just wanted to meet a foreign guy, and she came around. Um, he gave me her Instagram. I just DM'd her on Instagram. I said, "Yo, what's up?" Um, and we pretty much, she came over. She came over today. Let me see the interaction. It was pretty short. Let me see what it says. Um, yeah, so I'll read the entire interaction. Give you guys so this guy, my mate, he said this girl's down. She's down to hook up. You know, uh, here's her Instagram. Just DM her. And so I said, "Hey, my friend told me about you," and she said, "Hey, thank you. Nice to meet you." I said, "We didn't meet yet." Winky face. And she says, "Aha, let's meet in a few days." You know, I said, "Can you come to my station? I live there." Yeah, my station. And she says, "Sure." I said, look forward to meeting you. Can you send me some photos?" She didn't have that many photos on her Instagram, and she did send me some photos. and she's pretty hot. She said, "Send me your photos," and I sent her some videos of me working out. Um, and she said, "Nice working out," laughing face. And I said, "You have a sexy body too." And then she said, "Why do you know?" Uh, I said, "I can tell." And then she says, "I know your friend sent you my picture," laughing emoji. And I said, "Oh, that too, LOL." And then I said, "Do you have any more pictures like that? I want to see." And she says, "No." Um, and then she said, "Which picture?" And then it was, yeah, once more, it was this picture. This is the one my friend sent me. And she's actually kind of a how would you call it, an erotic model here in Tokyo. I said, when was this photo taken? And then she said, about 1 month ago. And I just said, hot. And she says, thanks, but I'm shy. And I said, can I see another one? She said, nothing, only one. Um, but yeah, long story short, um, yeah, she knew what was going down, and she came to meet me today at like just after what was it, 4:30. Yeah, I went to the station and met her, just walked her straight back to my house. And like, I mean, we talked for like two or 3 minutes. I just sat her down. I mean, it was, she wanted to fuck, like that was the whole thing. It was crazy. It was I was just given some, and yeah, her titties were fake, but they were probably the biggest titties I've maybe ever, like, ever seen. Maybe, I don't know. Um, yeah, they were ridiculous. I'm not even a titty guy. Like, I do like, who doesn't like titties? But like, I mean, yeah, I mean, some guys would seriously love that. I mean, I appreciate them, but I mean, if you're a titty guy, you would have really liked that. Problematic in the house. What is up? Hope you're well. Gabrielle, what's up? Nice try, governor in house. What is up? Gabrielle says, I'd meet her. Who wouldn't? Who would not? Uh, nice try, governor says, this wouldn't happen in the UK. Yeah, people are, real players don't give a shit. I guess to a point where there's no jealousy or really anything like that, just because you have the abundance mindset. Um, that's the level. That's the level we're at in Tokyo, where guys will guys will pass on really really hot girls, and not be jealous about it. But yeah, there's no way a girl is getting, guys are going to introduce you to the girls like this in Ireland. Not a chance. Not a chance. They're gonna like hoard that and like have this scarcity mindset and be like, "Oh, she's mine. She's mine only. I'm not gonna share her." You know. But you know, who gives a fuck? Like, who cares? There's so many girls out there. Um, hot girls are just a dime a dozen. There's just tons of them. Top tier men, though, they're fucking few and far between. Top tier men are not very common at all. Like, a man that has all three, like money, muscles, and game, is unbelievably rare. Like, so rare. Um, no wonder these women are. No wonder these girls are sick of of men, basically, because of how pathetic men have become, especially in Western countries. Problematic says, Max, serious question. Don't you sometimes find these chicks disgusting with how hoish they are? I sometimes struggle with this. Um, not really, because I'm not actually. I'm not looking at these girls as potential life partners. I can just, there's no investment, so it doesn't disgust me. there's no investment of money or resources. So it's as long as it's all, just casual, that's fine. But if it was something like, I wouldn't be able to. Obviously, I wouldn't tolerate that for a relationship, or I wouldn't, be down for something like that to have a relationship with a girl like that. But for fun, it's no. There's no. I don't feel disgusted because it's just fun. Like there's no. I mean, I had a good time with this girl tonight. I mean, she's nice and friendly and all, but I'm not gonna date her. Like I'm not gonna date her. I talked to her, we had fun, like she was a nice girl, but I'm not going to yeah, I'm not going to date her. Not even I'm not even dating the nice girls. I'm definitely not dating the hoes. You know what I mean? I've had plenty of opportunities to date really sweet wifey material girls, and I don't want any of that yet. But it's all good. I don't struggle with it. I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm not looking for I'm not looking for an angel. As long as as long as they're clean, as long as they're clean, that's all that I care about. Clean and hot, you know. Um, Firenze in the house, yo, what's up? What is good? Firenze says, girl was a job model. Honestly, she probably was. I asked her, did she? I don't think she was actually because the pussy was very tight. Um, but no, I asked her, how many times has she done the erotic modeling, and she said that was her first time. I don't know if I believe it. I don't know why she'd lie about it. She said she only did it one time. She said she did it for the first time a month ago. So I don't know, but she really did look like a job model, like Japanese adult video model. For anyone who doesn't know, she really did. Um, Problematic says, I don't view them as wife material either, but it's just a lack of respect for themselves that makes me cringe. Yeah, I mean, it's it is what it is. It's just it's the era we live in. It's like um sex is something, these women, they have access to, endless amounts of dicks. So, and society doesn't shame them for it. So they're gonna do it, I guess. Um like, women do have a sex drive. It is different from men's, but uh it's, I think if women had the same sex drive as that men had, the world already is probably overpopulated, but if women actually had the same level of sex drive as men had, then man, yeah, we would just never stop having sex, like because it wouldn't work out. Um, but I don't know, man. It's like it is what it is. It's like, you know they're gonna do it. So, you know, yeah. I mean, apparently the studies show that yeah, the more sexual partners a woman has, then the less likely she is going to be able to settle down with one guy. So it makes sense not to pursue women who have had a lot of sexual partners. Um, but as for just having fun, just like uh, spinning plates, all that stuff. I really don't give a fuck. Like, um, you're never really gonna know a girl's notch count anyway. Like some of the sluttiest girls I've ever met are girls that on the outside look like kind of librarian girls. Like honestly, there was a girl on the Fresh and Fit podcast just the other day, and she was a porn star. Sterling Cooper brought her, and she looked like the most innocent girl that's ever been on the podcast, but she's a porn star. You can't sometimes you can't even judge these girls. Like, it's hard, you know, and they're going to they'll keep it from you. They'll keep the truth from you. Um, yeah, and then other times, the girls who are the most prude will be the girls that on the outside look like real, like, who, like, just dress like whoever, like they just look like garden tools, like whatever, just dressing very provocatively, even behaving very provocatively, yet they'd be very prude. Um, there's a lot of girls actually out there like that. I've met a lot of girls like that in Japan, but that at the same time, you know, they could. Just because a girl's being prude with me, it doesn't mean she's being prude with everyone. So sometimes it's very hard to know, because if you're, I said talked about the Rollo Tomasi quote where, girls will be sexual for the right guy, you know, and if she's not being sexual with you, you're just not the right guy, and it might not necessarily even mean that she's prude. So I might even be contradicting my own words there, but you know, it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, right now I just want to, I just want to bang hot girls and have no commitments, and I don't really care. Um, if you're looking for, you know, if you're looking for, a nice, sweet, innocent girl, um, I don't know. I don't know. It's not going to be. They're not going to be. They're going to be less likely to tolerate being a plate. You know, you're going to have them. On your. They're going to only accept being your girlfriend as well. But when girls are more, let's say, mischievous, they'll accept, being a plate basically. Um, but these sweet, these innocent girls, these good girls that you're looking for, if you're turned off by the girls that are getting around, you know, um, you're not going to be able to, live a real player lifestyle. Well, you could live it, but you have to be lying. You have to be, living it in secret. My player lifestyle is not it's not lived in secrecy. Like all the girls I smash, they know that I'm a dog. Like, I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to hide. There's times when I don't bring it up. Like, I don't, but I also don't hide it. And if I have a new plate, a new girl, or a new girl I'm seeing, sometimes I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm also not going to hide it. You know, um, I'm not gonna, like, when girls come over here, I have like photography equipment, and like even I have even photos. I leave my camera out, like it's full of, like, the SD card is like full of chicks, like, you know. They can look at that anytime. I could be in the shower. They can, like, I have Polaroids of like hot chicks, like all around, like just lying around on the table, like, you know, just like hotties, like all around, just like, you know what I mean. It's just obvious what I do. Like, they're like they're going to, and trust me, when I'm in the shower, like when I'm in the shower, when I'm going to taking a piss, trust me, those chicks are looking around, snooping around your room. Like, I guarantee it. I know they are. They're checking out. They're probably definitely seeing my camera. Um, yeah, but yeah, my camera's lying around, and I don't know. Let me see. See, just like all these. like a 64 gigabyte. It's a 64 gigabyte. Like, yeah, probably can't show too much of that on yeah, I couldn't show too much of these photos on YouTube. Get uh get banned. Get banned right off. But yeah, no, it's just like I don't hide. I don't live my life in secrecy. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of living the player lifestyle. It's not like, getting into one relationship and, you know, um, just being, then like going around sneaking around, thinking you're badass, while you have to sneak around. The whole thing about being a player is you don't sneak. You don't sneak around. You don't like. You're not like, oh, walking on eggshells. I don't walk on eggshells with anyone. um, the whole idea is to be free in as many ways as possible. You know, I want to be as free as possible, and that's what everyone should want to be. Not be tied down to one woman or one, having to pretend that you're just going to be with her for forever. Um, it's just annoying. I live my life on my terms, as far as I'm able to. As far as I'm able to, you know. Obviously, I still teach English and I have to abide by some rules for that. But for my private life, I just live it on my terms. That's why I'm a very independent person. If I don't like someone, it's very gonna be very like I I really don't like biting my tongue either. You know, if I don't like someone, it's not gonna, I'm not really gonna tolerate them for very long. Um, the East West Connection says, "How's your portfolio going along?" Um, it's down at the bottom of the sea in Tokyo Bay. Nah, nah, it's all right. It seems things are going things well. There's quite a dip, but you know, hodling hodling on as everyone should be. But we can selling out. Yeah, but it's funny. This is my first crypto bull market, and I'm actually pretty, I'm not even that stressed about it. Like, I mean, you hear, I'm always seeing these people freaking out online and like freaking out about you know, their um, their crypto going down or dumping and shit. And it's like, obviously my crypto's dumping too with everyone else's, but for some reason I just take it as it is. You just take it as it comes. I mean, roll with the punches. Money's just fucking money at the end of the day. I mean, we need it, but you can always make more money. There's so many ways to make more money. um, Viren says, "When is the last time you panicked a little bit?" Um, Honestly, since I got the hardest part about crypto was actually, but for me was actually getting into it. I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, this is a weird thing to do. Like, just putting my money on online, like on some weird exchange that I don't really know anything about. And now once I did that, and once I just started paying attention to it, what that was, I didn't panic. I haven't panicked. Um, honestly, it's like jumping into a freezing cold lake. It's like the hardest part about doing it is like actually taking the first leap in. And once you get in, it's not so bad for anyone that's ever jumped into a freezing cold lake. Um, I know I've done it, and actually, the worst thing about doing that is that actually before it's the anticipation of it. But actually, yeah, I don't know. It's just even with these dips. I mean, for most of it, I've been getting profit, but even with the dips, it's like, yeah, I just kind of trust people that I'm around. I also do. I'll also pay attention a lot, and I see people putting their money where their mouth is. So it's not just they're not just talking shit. And I'm doing my own research. They're doing their own research. Everyone's and there's let's just say there's good information. So that obviously helps. But I do see a lot of people freaking out and all these like these. It tends to be there's funny. I saw some guy saying, what was it? Some some guy that MLD hates. I think his name is Alex Becker. He was telling everyone to sell their ETH or something. Know your worth in house. What is up? What's good? Yeah, I know. I just saw someone write some comments about how they sold all their crypto, and they were thanking Alex Becker because they were saying it was the top. And I just clicked on his profile, and it was just so stereotypical. The guy was such a beta. He looked like such a pussy. He's just like, dude, you didn't buy at the top, you fucking idiot. Yeah, you didn't sell at the top, you fucking idiot. Oh man, I can actually understand why MLD doesn't like that Alex Becker guy. It sounds like a bit, yeah. I've watched a few of his videos. It sounds kind of annoying. And he was also giving out shit advice. Spark55 says, "Why panic? Jesus, at the point I'm not even phased by this dip." I think you mean phased. Yeah. Good to hear. Spark55 says he's gonna regret selling his crypto by the end of the year. He definitely is. I mean, seems. I mean, yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not gone up too much, but it is. It's not. It's going up. It's yeah. He's definitely gonna regret that. I mean, I was looking at a chart today, and it was compared to the 2017, and it was overlaid over this bull runs. I think it was, what was it? Let me see. It might have been Bitcoin. Which was it? Yeah, the Bitcoin, and it was it's crazy how similar it is. Overlaid. So in this 2021, yeah, and it's very, very, very similar, and it's only May, so there was a huge dip back in 20. I think it was 2017 at the same time, and it's only it's only May, so we have months to go. And all the smartest people and all the people you should be paying attention to are not phased by this dip. In fact, all the smartest people I know are buying the dip. I wish I had more money. I wish I had money to buy the dip. I'm like FOMO. I went like, you're only supposed to, I did not take Charlie's advice when he said only put in as much as you're willing to lose. But in a way I did, because even if I lost everything, I mean, it wouldn't be the, I'm still going to make money. It would suck, don't get me wrong, but I went balls to the wall at it, and all my money's in crypto, and I wouldn't, it doesn't phase me, the dip, and it's my first bull run. I was never involved in crypto, and I don't know, maybe I'm just too casual for this shit. I don't stress about it too much. I'm not a stressful. I don't know. I'm not a guy that gets too stressed out. Know Your Worth says, I'm still in the green. Yeah, I'm still like we're all still in the green. We should, unless you just got into crypto recently, like we're all still in the green. Like, it's like It's like it's all good. Um, damn. Neuwirth says this dip erased 250,000 of my portfolio. Oh shit. Well, I mean, it's all good though. Decent chunk of change, but by December, you're not really going to be too worried about that. Fear says, I woke up, saw the huge dip, saw Charlie was calm, and I was instantly calm. Yeah, these guys know what they're talking about. Um, they've been involved in crypto for years, so um, yeah, and not only do they know what they're talking about, but they're also putting their money where their mouth is. So these smart people are investing a lot of money in, and you can trust people more when they're they always say do your own research, and they say that for a reason. But when they're actually putting a lot of money in too, they're not just telling people to put money in, they're also doing it themselves. Then you can have a bit more faith in it. Know your word says not phase correct. In fact, I'm buying Polkadot by the handful. Yeah, I wish I had more dry powder to take advantage of this dip, but yeah, I went all in. Yeah, I'm just my bags are packed. Like I'm I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to the moon. Bags are packed. It's Spark 55 says same caught dot at 1 a.m. at 19. Good shit. I remember when John was talking about dot when it was like under $5 or something. God damn. I've been around so much good information. So much crazy good information that, I need to start paying more attention. I really do. I know someone who was it that got I know this Chinese chick that got into Cardano at like something like I think it was like 10 cents or something crazy. You would never meet. You would be. It's just like I don't know. China is just the Chinese people I meet in Tokyo seem to be. They seem to be on the ball. You're not going to meet a random like Western chick that no even knows about that, or Cardano. And plus she was hot actually. It's crazy. China's winning. I am fully agreeing with MLD when he talks about China winning. China's winning big league. They're just taking over. And there's hot ass Chinese girls like that are knowing about Cardano at 10 cent and buying it. you know, um, as well as Kusama and a bunch of others. But yeah, the difference with Chinese and Chinese Asian chicks is they can be really hot and smart. You know, in Western countries, it tends to be it's either one or the other. Like they can't be both. They can't have their cake and eat it. They can't be hot and smart because if they're hot, they're usually going to be they're usually not going to be smart. Or if they're really hot, their personality is going to be really shit because they've never had to develop their personality. But the thing is, in Asian countries, there's just so many hot women. Like so, being hot it's not even that while it's valued. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely valued. Hot women are valued, but they need more than that. They need to have they need to bring something else to the table than just hotness. I think maybe even more so in China because they have such a massive population, like ridiculously big population. So the East-West connection says, are Japanese more traditional towards to crypto or more open to it? I don't really know that many people in Japan, um, Japanese people involved in crypto, but that's just that's just me. Um, there's definitely, I'm just not, I'm not that well connected to Japanese people. Like most people I hang around with are other foreigners in Tokyo. Um, like honestly, like my life is like I hang around with foreigners mostly, like literally one or two. I keep friendships with like one or two Japanese people. It sounds terrible, but and then all the rest, the Japanese that I interact with are chicks, like really legitimate. Like I live, like it's just, um, I can almost prove like prove that fact by apparently I don't recognize it myself, but I get I'm going off on a tangent here, but I like as an Japanese people say that my Japanese is feminine because I literally learned my Japanese from chicks. But yeah, but honestly, I'm not that well connected. Even other connections that I have in Tokyo that I know of that are involved in crypto, other Asian people, they're not even Japanese. They were Chinese. Um, Japanese, I would say, are definitely more cautious with their money. I would say Japanese people are you know, they do like money, but they're also tight fisted. They are tight fisted. Like they don't. I think they're very risk averse, extremely risk adverse. So I don't think crypto really suits Japanese people. They like the safe route, and we all know scared money doesn't make money. But that's yeah. But I'm sure it's involved. I'm sure it's a there's. I just haven't met these people. I haven't met these people. Um, yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of shady shit that goes on in Japan too regarding finances. A lot of shady shit. There's business. There's a lot of business in Japan that's on the border between being legal and illegal. I think like there are kind of gambling's apparently illegal in Japan, but they have these weird loopholes where they have these places they're called pachinkos, and they go in and people can buy. They're like slot machines, like um, and whatever they're all over Japan, and apparently I don't know. Apparently they're run by the yakuza, and there's a lot of money. There's a lot of cash. It's a cash society. So Japan is definitely a cash society, and things like the sex industry, where prostitution is illegal, but it's fucking everywhere. Like it's like, so it would be like there'd be like small print where it's like you cannot like insert your penis into a vagina or whatever. But obviously, of course, it happens. But there's apparently the yakuza run all these kind of legit slash illegitimate businesses like on the border where it's like technically legal but it's like kind of shady, and I think as a result of it being kind of shady, there's a huge amount of dry cash that gets floating around, and that probably that's why maybe there's maybe if I make contacts with these guys, they might be involved in crypto. Who knows? Who knows? But I don't know. Uh, yeah. Short answer to your question is I don't know any actually Japanese people involved in crypto. Um, uh, where it says ludopathia, addiction to gambling. It's a new word for today. Did not know that. Good, very educational. Um, But yeah, today I don't know. I was talking about random shit today, but I saw this video. Let me share it. Let me share it. Where are we at? Okay, this is it.
Like a Republican, we're going to show you. All right, the CDC says you don't have to wear your mask inside or outside if you're fully vaccinated. But how do you do that without looking like a Republican? We're going to show you. All right, you're walking down the street. You want to show the strangers you're vaccinated? Oh, wait a minute. What if you got the J&J? All right, the signal's a lot easier for this one. There it is. All right, the CDC says you don't have to wear your mask.
Oh man, it's so bad. Like I'm surprised the guy wasn't wearing a mask. Like today I was actually out and about and I saw this foreign, he was actually a white guy and he was masked up. He was wearing a mask and he was with this like, yeah, I'd say a Japanese five, but she was way out of his league. I mean, she was a normal Japanese girl, but this guy would look like such a pussy. But he was masked up and she wasn't wearing a mask. And I was like, how much of it, like, how much of a pussy do you have to be outdoors with a chick and she's not wearing a mask and you are? I mean, I don't know. I've seen that. Most Japanese people do wear masks, so it's sometimes it's fucking hilarious. It's funny when you see like couples and the guy is wearing a mask and the girl isn't. It's like, who's wearing the pants in that relationship? Obviously the chick, but I remember one time I was on the train and it was actually a Japanese. I think it was a Japanese couple, Asian anyway. But the girl was really hot, like really hot, and the guy looked like a real pussy. Um, but she wasn't wearing a mask, and he was, and he was there. He was like his hand was on her knee, and then he was there he was looking at his phone, like watching something, and then she was giving me mad IOIs, like crazy, like. I was thinking, God, I'm just gonna go. It was on a packed subway, but I was like, if it was anywhere else, if it was a bar, I would have rolled in and gotten her number like right in front of him. I really would have, like, because her IOIs were like she was smiling over at me, like, looking at me, flirting with me, babe. Um, but yeah, if that was in a bar, I would have done it. But yeah, these guys, like, I mean, I imagine it's something you'd see a lot in Western countries where these new males, that's NUMALES. Yeah, I think it's an evolution of like cocks, like evolution of cock males. Like it's like even more pathetic than a cock. It's like a new male. How weak does that sound? Like these new males. It sounds so fucking weak. Like, and these guys, like we just saw in that video, he's like a new male, like any NU spelled NU. Oh man, there's just like, that's honestly, when you see guys like this, and you just see like men in general in the West, you can actually it makes sense actually um why you know women are only fucking 10% of males, or 10 or 20% of males from dating apps. It makes sense. We need to start, in a way we should give the chicks a break. I'll give the chicks a break today, right guys, because we're gonna give the guys a bit of a kicking because they deserve it. And at the end of the day, the only reason we have all this womanism and bullshit and gynocentrism is because of men. Like, that's, men are the ones who allowed this shit. Um, yeah, it's just men have actually are the ones that let this happen. So the men are the root cause of this kind of craziness, this kind of like just craziness what's happening in Western countries. How everyone's just bowing down to like all these crazy stupid laws, like for like it's just insane at this point. Like, I mean, the whole beer bug really brought that to light. Um, how cooked Western society is really is really is a joke. Um, but yeah, so it's never actually been easier to get into the top 20 percentile of men, because all you got to do is lift weights, exercise, dress well, and not be a total pussy. And you're going to get pussy. You're gonna have, learn game. It's easy, really. It's a lot harder to earn a lot of money, in my opinion. You know, um, it just is. Yeah, and you don't to have validational sex, you don't need money. You know, I always say you don't need money. You're not gonna get validational sex just from having money. Like, don't get me wrong, girls might be impressed by it. They'll be like, they might even see it as being alpha. It might add to their wetness a little bit, but it's only the spice on top. You know, if you're a Chad, like you're a Chad, and she likes you and she thinks you're hot, and then you bring her back to like some dope ass like penthouse, apartment, then that'll make her even more wet. But it's not going to be the opposite way around. It's not going to be like if you're like a fat slob and you take her back to a penthouse apartment. You're not going to make her wet from that. You know, if you're Bill Gates, right, a billionaire, chicks aren't going to get wet like over that. Oh, just because he's a billionaire, they'll be like, oh my god, he's a billionaire. That's amazing. I'm gonna try and get a slice of this pie. Gonna try and get in on this, but it's not it's not gonna be like a thing where they're gonna be, getting wet over it. They're not gonna be fantasizing about that. Even if they do put out to try and get in on that, when their eyes are closed, they're gonna be thinking about some Chad that smashed them whenever it was. Uh, the East West connection says, I banged the most women when I was poor. Yeah, money is really, it really doesn't. Yeah, it's not a thing that will get you validational sex. It can get you sex, but it will not be validational sex. They're trying to get something from you when you if that's all you have to offer. If your money is like, say, 100, and your muscles and fitness and fashion is like at a what 20, 30%. Yeah, she's when women get with you, they're only going to be getting with you for either you have really good game or something. But game obviously helps as well, having good game. But even good game, even good game, it doesn't make women wet. It could get them into bed. Like, having good game can get women into bed. I've seen it. Like, I know guys, in Tokyo, other foreign guys that are bent out of shape, bent badly out of shape, but they're kind of cool, I guess, in some ways, and they can spit a bit of game, and it gets them laid. But it's like, you just know it's not validational sex. It's more like, hate to say it, but it's probably more like pity sex, or like more like friendship sex, where it's like, if your game is really good and but you're in a hideous state, and like, what would be worse than finding out that she just fucked you just because she wanted to help you out? Imagine finding out a chick like she wasn't really turned on by you. She wasn't really into it, but she just did it just because you kind of made her laugh, and she didn't want to hurt your feelings. That would be like, oh my god, I'd rather not get laid if that was the case. You know, like every single guy in here wants a girl to be like into them when they're smashing. They want to feel like, you know, every guy every time they smash a girl, when especially when they think they're hot. If like if you're a guy and you're smashing a girl that you don't think is hot, and trust me, there's a lot of guys that do that. There are a lot of guys that do that, and they won't admit it. They won't admit it. They'll keep it behind closed doors. But you know, the men have needs, as we all know. They'll smash girls that they don't think are hot, but they really need to smash, and they don't have any other options, and they'll do it. And they'll smash those girls, and they'll be like, "Okay, we're done. Like, yeah, I don't really care if you came or not, or yeah, I have stuff to do now." Like once they're finished with the act, they'll be ready to let the girl go, and they'll want her to leave. And in those situations, they don't really care if you know the girl had a good time or even came or you know. But when a guy thinks a girl is hot, like he thinks she's hot, like he likes her, and you know she thinks she's sexy, he'll be butthurt to find that if he finds out that she, you know, didn't have a good time or she was not even, you know, she thought the sex sucked. You know, he thought that his dick game was shit. Like no guy wants to hear that. You know, any guys that pretend that they don't care. Oh, I don't care what a girl thinks about sex. I'm just out to get my bit. I just care about you know as long as I get my you know as long as I have my fun. They're really talking shit. Like if they heard a girl talking to her friends and say like, oh, his dick was shit. He was the worst. Like his sex was shit. Yeah, every guy is gonna be obviously butthurt about it. They're gonna be like their heart's gonna be crushed. Trust me. Any guy just guys pretending that you know they're like, oh, it's so alpha to be like, yeah, I don't care, just like get my pussy and you know I don't care. Nah, you only don't care because the bitches you're fucking are ugly. You know what I mean? Guys care when chicks are super hot and you know they're attracted to them. They want to be the guy that like made an impact and you know what I mean. Um, so yeah, um, don't know how I went down that road, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Lost my train of thought, but yeah, every guy wants validation of sex, and these new males, these you know the evolved cuck, as I like to call them, like they're even more pathetic than cuckolds, like new males, and there's like millions of them in the Western countries. These like you know these what's that? Just playing video games and like Nintendo Switch, and you know we all know the cuck face, the new male cuck face. You know, girls cannot be turned on by these guys. There's no testosterone in them. There's no danger in these men. They're dangerous to you know they're dangerous to society because of how weak they are. That's for like, but like I mean, they're not a threat to any you know they pose no threat to anyone because they're so weak. They pose a threat to society because they're so weak, and then society becomes you know more unstable because of their weakness. But as individuals, they're so pathetic and weak that you know um they just pose no threat. And women actually want to be with guys that are just bad motherfuckers, really, you know, that are bad motherfuckers that know how to behave well, you know, um, like a guy that has the potential, you know, to cause serious physical violence, but doesn't because he's level headed, he's smart, he's cool. Um, you know that's what every guy should aim to be. You know, have the potential to be physically threatening, but yeah, obviously, you know, only doing it if necessary, not being violent for no reason. Um, you know, guys that are peaceful. Like some guys come out and say, "Oh, I'm peaceful. I'm against violence," and it's like, no, you're just shit and you're weak. Yeah, it's not that you're peaceful. It's that you don't have the potential to be even violent. You're not a threat. You're harmless. You're actually harmless. You couldn't be violent if you want, even if it was required. Um, so it's just you know um, yeah, it just doesn't surprise me when people when there's a lot of shit talked about, like, oh yeah, with the state of, like, women are only fucking the top percentage of guys. Their standards are too high. Just look at men in the Western countries. Like, they're so weak. They're so pathetic. They fall for all this bullshit. There's no rebellion left in them. They're falling for all the garbage propaganda. Going around like crying tears of joy when they're getting vaccines. And it's just, what are you fucking talking about? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, crying, celebrating, like kissing, like wearing masks while having sex. Like, what? Wearing masks while having sex. Like, idiots. Jesus Christ. Oh man. God damn. Sometimes as a protest, I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm just, as a protest, Japan's a cool place to be. I respect the country, I respect the culture, but sometimes just like I get sick of people wearing the masks. So, and I'm grateful that people don't bother me while wearing the mask. But sometimes, before I wouldn't really, as a Japanese, people really don't like eat or drink on trains. But just because of like 99.9% of people are wearing masks, it's kind of annoying. So sometimes I just like drink a coffee or like eat a donut on the subway, just to be like, just to show people, or sometimes just because I want to do it. But I mean, just because it's I'm on the train, I want to eat a donut or something, or I want to have a coffee, and I do it. But it's just funny. It's like there's no threat, man. Like, this shit is like, I don't even know how we're still talking about this bear bug shit. But yeah, unless you're like 95 years old and like, or totally obese idiot, there's no threat. I mean, you know, we're all smart guys in here. We all know what's up. Like, I mean, if there really was a threat, we'd be concerned. Like, we'd be concerned about not dying. But really, it's, you know, um, really is a joke. Um, Viren says, "You watch Millennial Thinker on YouTube. I have seen some of his stuff. Yeah, yeah, I've seen some good videos. There's a few makers, content creators that make similar stuff. Sometimes I mix them up. Um, Spark55 says, "You can only be a man of peace if you are a man of war." Very true. Very true. Um, uh, Nick K in the house says, "What do you think about motorcycles?" I like motorcycles a lot. Not an expert, but I have my license. I have my motorbike license. Um, got it in Japan about 2 years ago. Uh, yeah, Japan. I want to get one soon. I want to get a Kawasaki Ninja. Uh, Probably, hopefully get it. Hopefully get it. Maybe next January, if all goes well. Um, definitely going to get a motorcycle. Um, and Neuwirth in the house says, "I love myself, Maha BMW or 9T." Sounds good. Sounds good indeed. Yeah. So that is gonna do it for tonight. But yeah, just let me share one more thing that I saw. Where was it? If I have it here. Yeah, no, I just saw this photo and it was just crazy. I just couldn't believe it. Share screen. Yeah, so I saw this tweet and it said, "Bruce Willis was younger in Die Hard than Brian Steller is now. Bruce Willis was 32 years old when he filmed Die Hard. I'm 32 years old. Jesus Christ. This guy was 32 years old. And look at this guy. If you can be the opposite of this guy in pretty much every way, you're doing pretty well. Just look how soft and weak this man looks. He looks weak on the outside, and if you've ever heard him speak or listened to the type kind of content that the propaganda that he disseminates, like he if you can be the opposite of this man, you're doing fucking great. You're doing well in life if you're doing the opposite of this man. Try and be the opposite of this man in every way, and you will do real well with women. You'll do good, man. You'll be really on the right track. You'll be on like just go in the see this man go in the opposite direction. Do the opposite of what this man does. But yeah, just just don't be this weak, like mentally and visually and just everything. It's a terrible luck to have. Like this, there's no way this man can make a woman wet. There's no way. Like these couldn't happen. Like what the fuck? Like there's just no way that's just gonna happen. Yeah, but leaving on that note, apparently his name. What is his name? What is his name? Brian Stelter. Brian Stelter. Yeah, you should print out his photo and put it on your bedroom wall and look at it every morning. And be like, I'm gonna be opposite of this motherfucker, like in every way. Like just fucking, I don't know, rub sandpaper on your face or something. Just try and rough yourself up more, like I don't know, but yeah, guys, I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow night for another episode of Player Life. Have a good day wherever you're at. Peace out. Bye bye.